So what we're going to do first is we're going to make a foreground, middle ground, and background in our paper, okay? Now the foreground is the area that's closest to us when we're looking at the landscape, and anytime you're doing a drawing, when you're creating space, the area that's the closest to you is always going to be at the bottom of the paper, the nearest to the viewer. So that would be about right here. I'm just going to do kind of like a gently curved line to kind of look like a hill. All right, and a lot of Van Gogh's artwork, he did a lot of hills. Now I'm going to come a little bit away from that, and I'm going to do another line. Okay, and it doesn't have to be exactly the same, but just kind of a nice curve. And now I have my foreground, my middle ground, and my background. And the background is all the area that's behind the horizon line. So that would be your sky, maybe trees or things in the distance. And then your middle ground is just everything in between your fore and your background. So what we're going to do first is start to draw some trees. You can use this packet for help. You absolutely can make your own trees. The only thing that I ask is that you try not to get too small with the detail, because we will be using oil pastels. And as you know from the beginning of the year, it's really hard to fill in tiny spaces with oil pastels. So you can either use this page, there's two different designs, front to back, okay? And then on the very last page, there's some more intricate trees. So if you want to just do the first few, which are more simple, go right ahead. I think that's what I'm going to do for my video. So what I'm going to do now is start to draw some trees, and I'm going to start in one of the corners, either the left hand or the right hand side. And I want this to be the bigger tree, because whatever's closer to you in the horizon or where you're standing in a landscape is going to appear bigger, okay? So I'm just going to do some of these fun Van Gogh inspired trees, which kind of are just like these little wavy guys. They're fun to make, okay? And obviously I'm going to have to erase some of that line behind it. And it's also important that you guys, when you're doing this, that you draw really, really light, okay? So now that I have this tree, I can decide to do another tree in the middle ground, or I can just do one in the background, okay? And that's going to come above this line, and we're going to make sure it's a lot smaller than that tree in the foreground, okay? Because as things go off in a distance, see that I drew really light, I can erase it, they get smaller, okay? Now obviously these are really funny looking trees in a way. I mean, it's not typical that we see trees like this. However, that's kind of Van Gogh's style. It doesn't always look exactly how you would see it in real life. So now I've got some two basic trees. Again, if I want to add another one here, it would have to be in the middle between the size of this one and this one. So we want a bigger than that background one, but also smaller than your foreground one. So I'm just going to leave it for now. I might give these guys some trunks. And now I'm going to start to think about what else I want here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a mountain, because I wanted to have like an Adirondack. If you're going to do a road or water, that also has to get bigger as it gets closer to the bottom of the page, which is the closest part to the viewer. So I'm just going to do maybe like a river or something, and I'm just going to do a curvy line that comes down. And then I'm going to do another one, but as it's coming out, that curvy line is going to get farther away from the second line, so it appears it's getting bigger. So now you can see it kind of looks like either a road or water going away in the distance, and I want to erase these. Okay, now you can add some more things. Maybe, I don't know, if you want to do a lot of detail in the sky, I would really wait to do that until you get your oil pastels. Don't do any really tiny flowers or anything, because that you can do later with the oil pastels. We're just breaking in the basic shapes. But if you maybe want to do a bush or something, you could do some kind of, bush or different types of trees. Again, now that I did a bush here though, I have to make sure that whatever I do here, if I repeat it somewhere else, that I make it smaller. Okay, so this has got to be it's got to appear smaller as it goes away. And then maybe if I want to do a really big one here, what I'm creating now is space. So after you've gone in, you've outlined the basic things, we are then going to go in with some chalk pastel to add some color to this.